Hey YouTube, Paul Oz here. I just wanted to start this video off by saying sorry this took so damn long, but I've been busy. In this video we're going to be checking out a metal rhythm sound as well as a clean sound for 3 different guitars on the XFX2 to kind of showcase some of its brilliance. And the 3 guitars that I have today are a 6-string ESP Horizon FR2, 7-string Horizon NT7, and a wonderful Ibanez RG2228 loaned to me from my student David Dobry, old student. He can probably teach me a thing or two now. And we're going to be going through all of the 2 tones each for each different thing. So we're going to start today with this ESP Horizon FR2. And this tone that I have dialed in right now is probably my favorite bread and butter kind of rhythm tone. Sculpted after a little bit of the Periphery kind of vibe, but fundamentally metal. Like good for riffing around and just messing around and coming up with a few ideas. So let's hear some stuff. So, pretty good, pretty tight setting. Now, let me continue a little bit with this demo and play a few shreddy things on this setting just to show you that just because you have a rhythm tone doesn't mean that you can't, you know, make a couple melodies, make things sound good, nice and sexual. So pretty good, pretty tight and pointy and trebly, and I really enjoy this actually. I wrote an entire song in about 3 minutes because I kept playing and just coming up with ideas with this tone and with this exact guitar, mostly because it's got mahogany and a maple neck, so it's got a lot of that brightness that I really quite enjoy that comes naturally from a guitar, rather than too much dark and not enough sculpty kind of mid-sound stuff. But it's a lot of fun. Alright, so you've heard the rhythm setting for this guitar. Let's hear a clean setting. So this is going to be on the middle pickup on this guitar, which has an 85 and an 81 EMGs. Thank you very much. And let's hear some stuff. So really full and a really great sound, and I really quite love this part of the axe effect. It really has breath. The reverb is what I'm talking about. All the effects that it has, great, but the reverb, man, you can make things sound like you're on Mars and you're playing guitar. The fact that it's very responsive, I got into a bit of a trance there. The fact that it's very responsive is very nice as well. So you don't have this compressed sounding thing. It sounds really natural and organic to the way that you play, which I find to be incredibly important, and a lot of people, for them, that's a game changer. If it isn't organic and doesn't feel natural, then why the hell would I have something so expensive? You can buy a car for how much this thing costs, but the car won't give you as much love as this thing can. Alright, now we're going to switch from this, by the magic of movies and editing programs, not even sophisticated editing programs, to the 7th string. You see that? That's magic. I told you. So this is another fantastically saturated rhythm tone. This guitar has got an ebony fretboard, alder wings, and I think a maple neck. And that combination, obviously you need to EQ a few things a little bit differently. The input of the guitar is different. EMGs are not, compressed sound are not. The wood of the guitar seems to make quite a difference, as well as because it's just a bigger instrument than the 6th string. It requires that you mess around with it a little bit more to kind of EQ around the tone of the wood in the guitar, rather than having this like, nope, that's the sound, it's not going to be any different. So that's what it's all about. Now let's hear some 7th string riffing and let me shut up. So it sounds really aggressive and heavy, but when you dial back the volume, so long as your noise gate isn't too hasty, you should be alright in terms of being able to roll back the volume and make it respond as if it's an actual tube amplifier. Which at this point, man, it doesn't matter. This thing, that's it. Like, the team that made the XFX and the XFX2, they got it, man. I'm always blown away whenever I turn on the damn thing and I can dial in a tone and I can just be like, wow, I can play like this for hours, that sounds so good. And, you know, usually when it comes to a tube amplifier, it's like, wow, my neighbors are gonna shoot me. So, there is that factor. Now, the next thing we're gonna do on this guitar is check out the clean again. I'm going to go to a different setting this time than the other clean channel for the 6th string, because the other one is a little bit better for this exact guitar with this wood. So right now we're on a setting which is kind of acoustic-y, piezo-y sounding, except this has no piezo and it is in a hollow body, so let's see how that works out. But basically it sounds like this. Middle pickup from there to the neck pickup now. Again, with the neck pickup and the guitar, I'm going to play a little bit more chordy things rather than single note whatever. So you see that basically it has quite a lovely tone. I'm quite a big fan of the way the Axe Effect sounds with my 7-string because it riffs really hard and it has a pretty good clean sound. Now I'm going to switch to the 8th string, but I shouldn't be flipping it like I did with the 6 and the 7 string, you know, whatever, because it's not mine. So there is that factor, but we're going to switch over to that now, and we're going to hear again metally rhythmy, cleany weeny. Alright, so we're over to the 8th string now. Oh dear, listen to this. Needless to say, when David loaned me this, when I played it for a little while, I realized I could replicate the tone of one of my favorite composers, a guy called Ishan, who's in a black metal band, a little black metal band called Emperor, probably the best black metal band to ever exist. It's an opinion, but I did that, and I've got a cover coming, but whatever. It might even be released before this video comes out. It kind of really depends. It's irrelevant. So, let's hear some riffing now. See how nicely that cleans up? This has EMGs, man. Those things don't typically clean up nicely. That's a good report card for EMG pickups because typical compression and all that, right? So, what is this guitar made out of? From what I understand, it's maple with some two strips of it, as you can see beautifully, and it's got some titanium shit in there to make it stronger. It looks like a rosewood fretboard to me. Maybe it's ebony. I can't really tell. And basswood, but it sounds, you can hear it from the camera, it sounds huge and acoustic as I don't need to prove it anymore, do I? Sounds huge, man. But instead of just riffing around down in the 8, let's try something else. So as you can see, I mean, the guitar shouldn't prevent you from playing any kind of genre. And in this case, the Axe effects on this guitar seem to work really well. And I've noticed actually that this guitar has more of a higher output, literally in decibels, like from right here, than my other two guitars. I don't understand why. And I'm gonna now go over to the clean channel, and you're gonna flip yourself into a frenzy of, oh. Are you ready? I'm not ready. So, yeah, and sorry for the mistakes in this video. I kind of freshly fresh for my day today. On the middle pickup, and amazing. When I first heard it, I was really flabbergasted. I typically do not even like Ibanez guitars very much, just because this is kind of painful for me to reach around. But in this case, I'm absolutely flabbergasted and very, very thankful and appreciative. I got a chance to spend a couple days with this guitar because it sounds amazing. Now, one little trick I found out on this guitar is that once you get closer to the bridge, the sound of the guitar completely changes. Of course, that's with every guitar. I just didn't think it would sound so good. That's just on the treble pickup. Now on the neck pickup, it's like, okay, you can see that there's probably going to be more footage of the clean stuff than the distortion stuff, just because that already exists. Animals as leaders. Do I need to say much more? I just love it. Sounds amazing. I'm a really big fan. This is becoming less and less about the axe effects, as you can tell, but it's quite a compliment, I think, to the team, to Fractal Audio, and to Ibanez and to ESP. They've developed a product which works really well for the musician. It's designed for the musician, not for themselves. You know, it's made cleverly, which is far more important to me than made to look good or whatever, right? I mean, it's just a little black box, man, with a big green screen, not even that big, a little green screen, and it makes amazing, gorgeous tones. It's not some huge, beautiful, like a diesel. It's not a ridiculous, you know, whatever. It just works, and it works really well. And the team there, I had to send mine in before to get it fixed up. It took like 5 or 6 days. Sent it back, and I had it before it was even 2 weeks past. Like, only good things to say about the Axe FX team. You can check out a video I did that is kind of a Super Metroid cover. Very, very recent video that features the Axe FX and my ESP Horizon NT7. That video is exclusively Axe FX, including the bass tones, which I just recently started really digging in with the bass tones, and there are some great things there too. Worth the money. Well worth the money, well worth the time to learn how to use it. There is a bit of a learning curve. But once you get over that, man, you have some tones, man. Sounds good. Anyway, I'm gonna leave you with a little bit of Demiola kind of stuff, because that's what I like to play now, because I'm an old fogey for some reason.